Hi, welcome to Carvers. Today we are going to talk about the 2023 Nissan Z. Before we start the video, please subscribe to the channel and click on the notification bell in order not to miss the latest car news. Hey, is that the new Z? This was a common refrain we heard during our time with the new 2023 Nissan Z, the latest iteration of the Japanese automaker's long-running line of sports cars. In fact, the new Z's arrival is such a high-profile affair, we witnessed a level of interest in the car that is usually reserved for rarefied exotics. Curious folks in parking lots, spotters hanging out of car windows, and eager drivers attempting to goad us into a display of speed with their aggressive flybys made it clear the public hasn't forgotten about the Z car. Nissan introduced the previous generation 370Z all the way back in 2009, and it offered the model through the 2020 model year before discontinuing it. We previously criticized the 370Z for growing long in the tooth rather quickly, so one of the most important things for the new Z to accomplish was to hit the market as a thoroughly modern sports car. We put the 2023 Nissan Z through our testing regimen to see if it represents a true step forward for a long-standing line of famous vehicles. The new 2023 Nissan Z drives as though the company ran through a checklist of problems that plagued the 370Z and fixed each one, starting with the drivetrain. A 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6 sends 400 horsepower and 350 pounds-to-foot of torque to the rear wheels via a 9-speed automatic transmission in the car we tested. That's up from 332 horsepower and 270 pounds-to-foot in the 370Z, or 350 horsepower and 276 pounds-to-foot in the Nismo edition. In our performance testing, this new engine and transmission combo results in significantly improved acceleration figures. The 2023 Nissan Z ran the 0 to 60 mph sprint in a best time of 4.3 seconds and completed the quarter mile in 12.9 seconds at 107.6 mph. Those times are notably quicker than the ones put up by the 370Z we tested in 2017, as the old car mustered a 5.2 second dash to 60 mph in a 13.7 second quarter mile. Saturday night bracket racers will likely be able to improve on that time with a simple gas station mod. Nissan delivered this pre-production 2023 Z with a case of Octane Booster and instructed us to add half a bottle to every tank of 91 octane gas because 93 octane premium fuel isn't easily found in our home state of California. We initially ignored that ask, as our procedures call for testing all cars with the same gas that owners routinely use. The numbers in this story reflect the Z's best run on pure pump gas. But after our initial hard acceleration runs at the test track, the engine began to knock, and we were hit with a low power warning. Curious to see what would happen, we added the Octane Booster, and it seemed to work. The knocking and power warning disappeared, acceleration became more consistent, and the times dropped by a couple of tenths. Punch the throttle, and the engine doesn't seem quite as strong at lower RPM as it does at the top of its power band, where its 400 horsepower torrent feels relentless. Keep the revs up, and the twin-turbo V6 is a sweet piece. Those familiar with the power unit in the Infiniti Q60 Red Sport 400 will appreciate how sonorous and smooth the engine feels in this application. Our test team also praised the Z's clever limited slip differential, which put down the power quite well on some of our favorite Southern California roads, as well as our racetrack in a bottle, the Figure 8 circuit. Nissan improved the Z's steering, too, one of our pain points with the old 370Z. The weight is a little heavy, but the steering is reasonably precise. We appreciate the thick, easy-to-grip shape of the new steering wheel, which we much prefer to the thin one in the previous car. It also telescopes now, which makes configuring a good seating position much easier. Winding our way through the greater Los Angeles area's numerous canyon roads, we worked the Z into a rhythm through hairpins and S's. Using the paddles to flick between the automatic transmission's 9 gears, we navigated the car through tight corners with the help of the clever LSD. Although the chassis feels balanced and poised at any speed, the Z is relatively heavy for a modern sports car. It tipped our scales at 3,597 pounds, 202 pounds more than the most recent Toyota GR Supra we've weighed. The 2023 Nissan Z's weakest point is its soft and vague brake pedal, a fault that carries over from the outgoing car. When we engaged ABS during our track testing, we noticed some tail wiggle, too. However, its stopping distance of 111 feet from 60 mph is on par for the performance coupe segment. In all, our critique of the brake feel is a small complaint about an otherwise playful yet non-threatening RWD sports car, but you'll want to be mindful of how pads and fluid hold up if you plan to lap a Z on a road course. We also recorded plenty of mileage on the open road, and we found the new generation's updates make it something of a grand tourer. With just 2 seats and a relatively large trunk, the Z is a perfect choice for a pair of people to make a great escape for a long weekend. Its character is significantly more relaxed than that of the 370Z, the transmission is quick, but its shifts don't kick too hard. Meanwhile, the suspension is tuned on the softer side, even with the performance trim sportier setup. The 2023 Nissan Z also muffles exterior noise well and tamps out road imperfections nicely. Nissan focused on refinement and daily drivability rather than trying to hide the old platform's weight by making the new Z feel stiffer and more aggressive. The result is a mature sports car that's still a joy to drive and also serves as a worthy addition to the Z lineage. When Nissan first showed the new Z in public, its grille was seen as controversial because its too boxy shape gave it sort of a dopey, bug-eyed look. However, we think the production spec front fascia looks much better in real life on the street. The retro modern design was a hit with fans, too. Onlookers excited about the car praised the familiar yet futuristic styling and regaled us with fond memories of classic Zs they or their friends once owned. The interior design succeeds where we criticize the 370Z, too. Quality is improved mightily, and there's plenty of soft-touch surfaces to make the cabin feel somewhat elevated over a typical daily driver. The big displays and low-slung seating position evoke a car straight out of Cyberpunk 2077, especially with the fully digital 12.3-inch instrument cluster configured in the data-heavy sport appearance mode. Connectivity with mobile devices to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto was a cinch, as is typical with the latest generation of Nissan's touchscreen units. Storage space has been handled cleverly, too. There's a spot to hold a phone, plenty of cup holders, and even storage shelves behind the seats for extra cargo. At the same time, the car retains the sweet 3-pod instrument gauges on top of the dash that serves as an analog balance to the much more digital interior. The 2023 Nissan Z we tested came equipped with a performance trim level and stickers at $51,015, about a $10,000 increase over the base sport model, and it gets some desirable goodies for the extra cost. Upgrades start with a limited slip differential, a sportier suspension tune, and larger 14.0-inch front and 13.8-inch rear brake rotors with 4-piston front and 2-piston rear red-painted aluminum calipers. You also get 19-inch raise wheels, some slightly different bodywork to reduce lift, and a unique exhaust setup. On the inside it comes equipped with GTR-inspired paddle shifters, heated, 4-way power-adjustable leather seats, a larger 9.0-inch infotainment display with built-in navigation, and an 8-speaker Bose audio system. The premium to step up from the base model is steep, but to get the true Z experience, the performance model is the one to buy. Even in this competitive field, the Z is worthy of consideration. Folks looking for a smaller car will be happy to know the Z is more compact than its American counterparts, and its pricing is highly competitive when compared to the Supra. Boosted by its twin turbos and radical design overhaul, the new 2023 Nissan Z proves itself as a modern sports car. Equipped with the necessary technology, comfort features, and performance equipment to serve as a daily driver and a weekend warrior, the next generation Z made the wait worth the anticipation. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more following videos.